chew it.
Spicy. It's good, it's spicy.
She was born in the outskirts of Seoul to an American GI and a young Korean woman. He was born in Alsace, France, land of pork and cabbage. She was put up for adoption at 3 and then lovingly raised in Virginia by her new family. He was 16 when he began his apprenticeship. She found her birth mother when she was 19. He came to America and became one of the world's greatest chefs. They fell in love and married over a decade ago. Now, Jean-Georges and Marja return to her birthplace to chronicle the tastes and traditions of Korea. These are the Kimchi Chronicles.
Korea, the land of the morning calm, is calm no more. Since the birth of its steel industry in the 60s, Korea has come roaring into the 21st century. Today, it's the most digital and wired nation on the planet. Yet Koreans remain firmly rooted in their traditions. One of the most amazing of those traditions are the haenyos, the mermaids of Jeju. Just 60 miles off the southernmost tip of the Korean peninsula is Jeju Island. Thanks to its volcanic birth, Jeju is an immensely fertile place, a fertility that extends out to the island's rocky shores and surrounding waters. These are the waters of the haenyos, a sorority of fabulous women freedivers. Wetsuits are the only modern aid these women allow themselves. For generations, they've been diving without oxygen tanks, never taking from the ocean more than they can harvest with one lungful of air. Given the opportunity to hang with these sirens, Jean-Georges couldn't resist. The hazing began in his tidy whities with a bucket of ice-cold water. Then the ladies squeezed him into a wetsuit, clearly cut for a woman. Joining him was his never-say-no chef buddy Magnus, whose Swedish sea legs were known to be somewhat suspect. The ladies seemed to find the chef duo rather amusing. The source of their humor seemed to center on the size of Magnus's prodigious snazzola.
Hey, he's like smart. Stick it out.
Then they were off to sea like 2 Navy SEALs. They set off in search of sea urchin, abalone, and other prize shellfish.
Beautiful, huh? It's amazing.
They motored out to the easternmost tip of the island, Songsan Il Chulbong, Sunrise Peak. The haenyos usually spend 5 or 6 grueling hours a day in these chilly seas. They know these waters like a farmer knows his land. Chloe and I prefer our waters far warmer and calmer. We're gonna be chilling and getting a little girls' treatment, huh?
Yeah.
JG and Magnus, on the other hand, barely managed 7 minutes before calling a timeout. But then my husband got his game face on and went down for his big dive, a whopping 20 seconds in about 2 feet of water. After multiple dives, the ladies led the charge back to the boat with their mesh bags or mungseti filled to capacity. Fresh out of the cold waters, the chefs were nothing less than exuberant and ready to taste some songgae, sea urchin.
Sea urchin everywhere, so sweet on sardine. All you need is a glass of wine. Or some makgeolli. Oh, look at this. They're putting it in the can. The ladies are amazing.
Thank you very much.
Their catch safely stowed aboard, they headed back to port. The haenyos seemed to have gained some respect for the boys, but still had a salty trick or two up their sleeves. After a quick dip to clean up, JG and Magnus rejoined the haenyos, who had laid out a spread from their morning dive.
Oh yeah, very expensive in New York. Oh, nice.
First up was artfully sliced abalone.
Yeah, for your skin. About how many years they've done it?
30년.
30 years. Wow.
제일 젊은 사람. 베이비. 제일
Baby, yeah.
For the next course, chewy slices of raw sea snail that gets dipped in a spicy red pepper sauce.
The end is nice. Because men are scared, I guess, or they're wimps. Yeah, we were good.
Then it was fear factor time. The ladies removed the digestive tract of the sea squirt, calling it the Viagra of the sea, and singled out Magnus as a likely candidate.
Is this good for men, or? Oh, wow. He's dripping and everything. No, you're gonna eat that now, Jean-Georges. Oh, no. Yeah. There you go. Small piece? No, all of it. No. Okay, there you go. Ready? Yeah. And chew it. You taste it? Bitterness, sour? But it's a bit of a secret saline. Yeah. Iodine. Swallow it.
Next, the pricey songe. For my husband, one taste is never enough.
Now we're talking.
All in all, it had been the boys' idea of a perfect day. After a brisk trot on the beach, the chef's appetites were raging yet again, and just a stone's throw away, a seafood extravaganza, Jeju style, awaited.
So, what are they making for us?
I think they're making whatever we brought back. Kind of like a Jeju bouillabaisse.
Okay. Oh, look at this.
Here we are.
Aye.
One boil to sanitize the whole thing, and then we're good. We're good to go. This is like the best camping I've ever had.
A jungle is any soup or stew that has more than one main ingredient. And today, those ingredients were everything the haenyos had gathered from the sea, and then some.
Some crab too. Look at this guy. Baby abalone.
Baby abalone. Smells good, everything. Nice, salty. Tastes like the ocean.
It's beautiful. Nice and spicy.
Yeah, the broth is awesome. Fresh catch.
The crab is so sweet.
Squid. Looks tender, huh?
Super tender.
Yeah.
There we go.
Merci.
I think the spices are really well balanced. No?
Very. Not too spicy for you, huh?
No. For you?
No.
You know, it's a good idea to put a kimchi in a broth. So I think it just makes sense.
Makes sense, yeah. Well, that's the flavor of Korea.
Yeah. And actually, Marja makes a pretty good kimchi soup as well.
That I've only had her kimchi.
You know, when the kimchi gets kind of almost when it gets fuzzy.
Yeah.
Like marinated for a little while, and it gets a little carbonated. Then they use it for soup. And it really tastes delicious.
Sounds good.
Anyway, toast to Marja.
Toast to Marja.
She's introduced us to Korean food in New York City.
She sure did.
Babe, you had way too much fun with those haenyos diving.
They made so much fun of us, me and Magnus, you know. But, we had the best time. Coming back to on top of the water, they give me a piece of kelp like this.
Oh, yeah?
Just a piece of green. They open up a fresh
Uni.
sea urchin.
Wow.
Wrap it up like this. I was in my wetsuit. This is what they gave me.
Oh, really?
So now it's for you.
Oh, okay, great. Good. So you and Magnus had a dish that you called Jeju bouillabaisse, but it's called a Hammel Jungle. I'm going to show you how to make it. I've got some water boiling here.
Oh, no,
super sour kimchi.
Super sour.
And we're going to let that simmer a bit. So while we're waiting for this to boil, what are you going to do?
Seaweed soup with some sea urchin.
Right.
I use that
dry seaweed
that you told me how to soak.
Yes.
You know, I mean, usually they use anchovy, but I like to use mussel. I love mussel juice, so I'm gonna do something with mussel. We're gonna do a similar way of like a mussel marinière, some garlic, some shallots. So you just wanna, you know, sweat it.
Right.
Shoju.
Ooh.
A bit of white wine.
We are a half French, half Korean family here, no?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna add the mussel.
Okay.
Some of the seaweed.
Is that good? Okay.
All right, that should be good.
That's good. And how long is that going to stay like that?
As soon as the mussel open up,
yeah,
I'm gonna let it rest a little bit.
Okay, so let's see what's going on, babe. Over here. Okay, so we're going to put in the moo.
Oh, the color is already.
Yep, it's getting there. And then we'll put in the onion.
Yeah.
This has to simmer for a while and cook through. I'm adding some base, which is just gochujang, gochugaru. Gochujang is the pepper paste. Gochugaru is the red pepper flakes, soy sauce, fish sauce. I put like 4 tablespoons, but we'll see as we go on. You know, Korean cooking's not so precise and exact.
Let me see my...
Alrighty. Ooh.
Smell? Adding the chilies. As soon as the masala are open, it's ready.
All right, well, I'm gonna... Yes, now's a good time. Put the lobster in. It's gonna take a little while. Now I'm adding my scallion. We're gonna add the rest of that shellfish in there. Squid. It's gonna go in there.
Wonderful, full...
Yeah.
Shrimp. Yeah, I need to be in a wetsuit, like back in Jeju.
And then we'll add the water.
It's a full pan. Mushroom.
Gnocchis on top.
Looks great.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna finish
Let me see what's going on here.
seaweed on mussel.
Okay.
I don't want to cook too much, so I'll add it the last minute.
Great. That's looking good.
Fantastic.
We need to invite some people over just to eat that.
All right. Should we go?
In Korea, there's a tradition of eating seaweed soup on your birthday. So, you know what I want on my next birthday.
Seaweed soup?
Exactly.
Let's try your soup. Your bouillabaisse.
Yeah, it's done.
Wow,
we don't need bowls for this.
So usually this dish put it right on the table.
Exactly, and you just kind of eat it as you go. Delicious.
Yeah, it's amazing. It was the best experience there, but it's a better experience here.
Good. That's what I like to hear. Koreans are crazy about their crab, and so am I. There are tiny crabs you eat shell and all, and big blues marinated in soy sauce. There are crabs coated with a fiery red pepper paste, and of course the crabs that get boiled into jungle. For banchan, tidbits that get eaten along with the main dish, Jennifer Flynn, who blogs for Fat Man's Soul, brought me to her favorite stand, Honglim.
안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. All right, you can buy everything you need for a Korean meal just in the market.
Perfect. This is my favorite, though.
This is gaejang. It's crab that's fermented in soy sauce.
먹을 줄 알아요?
어떻게?
내가 가르쳐 드릴게요.
So you pull off the tail end. That's the good stuff.
Yeah.
아니 어떻게 이런 걸 잘 먹어요? 쪽쪽쪽 빨아 먹어.
I love it. 맛있어요.
맛있어요?
Yeah.
굉장히 맛있어요.
우리는
감사합니다.
Let's try some of this raw marinated crab with red pepper. 감사합니다.
이거 먹으면
Amazing.
살찌는데.
I have to get to my favorite thing. 이거 한번 맛보자.
Now, what kind of crab are these?
찍어드릴게요.
Oh, it's so soft.
그래요.
It's looking at
It's
me.
waving at you.
I can't.
Oh, these are so good though.
Okay, I'm not. That's pretty good.
자꾸 먹으면 절대 질력이 안 나요.
네.
왜냐 있잖아요. 빵이나
네.
뭐 피자나
네.
뭐그 치킨이나 햄버거나 먹으면은
네.
그 질력이 나잖아요. 근데 우리나라 음식은요. 먹으면 먹을수록 또 먹고 싶어요.
That's true. It's addictive. Healthy and addictive.
원더풀.
Yes, thank you.
원더풀.
감사합니다. Thank you. Thank you so much.
네, 감사합니다.
For the ultimate Korean crab experience, you have got to try a place called Proganjang Gaejang. Mrs. Baekja Seo opened the restaurant in 1982, the same year that Korea launched its pro baseball league. Several of the players became regulars, and Mrs. Seo, eager to be known as a professional herself, added the pro to her restaurant's name. And the rest is crab history. The twinkle in Mrs. Seo's eyes and her bright smile says it all. This woman adores her work. She very graciously gave a lesson to me and my pal Diana Kang on how to make her house specialty, 간장 게장, which is raw crab marinated in soy sauce.
In Korea, we prefer female crabs.
Right.
And the best time to select the crab is in May and June when it's filled with roe.
Great.
You pick the crab and then you clean it with a very light brush. And once you wash it, you put it upside down so the water comes out.
Okay,
The
drains
water is
out.
drained.
great. Alrighty, what's the next step?
그 전에 이 가진 양념을 이 주머니에다 이렇게 넣습니다.
It has all the spices in the pouch.
All right.
그 다음에
Yeah.
You put the
Putting
onions
some
in.
Scallions. Those are some big scallions.
Big scallions.
이제 맨 위에 한 줄은요 이렇게 엎어 놓으세요. 왜냐하면 이 사이로 양념이 들어.
So smart. Would never think of that.
간장게장은요 간장에 모든 맛이 달려 있습니다.
Of course, it's always the ingredients. Now, does she make her own soy sauce or does she buy
이
it?
간장을 조선 간장 있죠.
Well, this is a family secret, but she says that she uses Korean soy sauce, which is very different from Chinese or Japanese soy sauce because it's very light. The taste, the sweetness, and the depthness of the soy sauce comes from her secret ingredient.
Okay.
You would marinate in soy sauce for about 3 to 4 days, but depending on your preference, if you like it saltier, then you would leave it on for a few more days.
Thank you so much. This looks delicious.
She's going to teach you how to eat this.
Perfect.
You
So
squeeze
good.
the flesh part.
Oh,
Oh,
thank you. 감사합니다. It's delicious. We're gonna have some rice and then pour that in there.
actually, in
Oh, what
Korean
is that?
families, only the boys got to eat that
That's not
top
fair.
part, and the girls only got to eat the leg part.
My grandmother loves this part.
So you take all the roe out because roe is the most important thing.
Delicious.
And then you mix it with rice. My mouth is watering.
My mouth is watering too.
Ah.
감사합니다. Oh,
Or
you
she's
even
going
have
to
to feed yourself. I love it here.
Very special treat.
Then came the spicy version, yangnam gaejang. Raw crab again, but this time saturated and cured in a fiery red chili paste mix. Oh, this looks so good.
It looks really spicy.
It smells spicy. Spicy. But good, but spicy. So, babe, in Korea we had, you know, we saw a lot of different examples of how Koreans use different kinds of seafood, and you know, one of my favorites is gaejang, which is the raw marinated crab. You had that before?
Yeah.
I had it a couple ways in Korea. I had it with soy sauce, and I had it with spicy pepper sauce, which was like really, really spicy. But I have come up with a recipe that adapts more to American with the cooked versions. All right, you might have to help me here. Okay, so we got some crab.
Yeah, the blue crab.
Yes, can you open that lid for
Yes, I love this.
me? Okay. Oh, get out!
You can use it as earring.
I'm gonna throw you in that pot. Okay, vas-y, go.
All right.
Okay, could you actually, you do this for me?
Huge.
Okay, can we just not get to know them and just put them in a can?
All right.
So these are gonna cook for about 8 minutes,
minutes.
and in the meantime, what are you gonna do?
I'm doing a crab fritter.
Ooh.
But I'm doing a French kind of a classic, which is a pâte à choux. It's very simple. So either butter, olive oil, water. As soon as everything's melted, you add the flour.
Okay.
Then you cook it a little bit to get the flavor of the flour out.
Oh, you cook it
A little bit, you
in the
dry it
pot.
out.
Oh, I
Okay.
see.
You see, it has to stick a little bit on the bottom, so you know it's ready. Here we are.
Great.
And then we're just gonna add a few eggs on the, you know.
So you incorporate every egg each time?
But not on a fire. You don't want eggs to cook. They will cook later in when you fry the crab. So here's the pâte à choux. Here we go. We're done with this.
Ooh, nice and bright orange.
They're gorgeous, colorful.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to let these cool for a bit.
But you don't put them in ice water. You just keep them cooler on their own.
Exactly. I just cool them enough so that I can open it up. While these are cooling, you should do your thing. I'll
Yeah.
take these over on the side. Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna get my crab meat.
Okay.
already cleaned.
I can't wait.
It's about what, a pound of crab. And then we're gonna add some pâte à choux.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put about half a pound of the pâte à choux. And then we're just gonna mix it up. Pinch of salt. So used to your chili flake thing.
Nice.
Can't live without it now.
Okay, good.
Yeah, there we go. That's it. You wanna do your marinade?
I am going to take 4 cups of soy sauce, And I'll boil that with some onion. I have jalapenos, some Korean chili peppers.
Wow, what are those?
Korean jujubes. They're Korean dates.
Dates?
Yeah.
Dried out?
Yeah, I just open it up a little bit to penetrate in the sauce, and then some ginger and garlic. So we're gonna simmer this about 15 to 20 minutes so that all the flavors kind of incorporate in the soy sauce. Is that in? And what are you gonna do next?
I'm put together a little Korean dressing for my dipping sauce for the crab.
Nice.
So gochujang. So 3
tablespoons.
A little bit of vinegar.
Okay.
A little bit of sugar. And then a little bit of sesame oil.
And do a little sesame seed? Yeah. That's good.
Yeah?
That's good.
Great. And I'm gonna start the fritter. It's boiling, baby.
Okay, leave it alone.
Okay.
So how do you know when this oil's ready? Because I always, my first one is your nose.
No, a little bit.
Come on.
No, you can smell it. Can you smell the oil?
Get out.
No, the oil. It's difficult to see. I mean, you can put a bit of water if you want in there, but the best thing is to try one. You put one in there.
Yeah, I was about to say, because my first one always stinks.
I mean, fried food is always appealing to everyone.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Delicious.
I'm gonna do a few more.
How long do these cook?
Until they're golden brown, probably I would say 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes.
Oh yeah, it's really super
pretty quick. So you know they have to be nice and golden like that.
Nice. I'm gonna finish up my sauce and get the crabs ready.
Yeah.
Okay. Mmm, that smells good.
I really like that the dates too have a.
Yeah, it adds a little bit of sweetness in there, so it's nice. I'm just gonna drain all this stuff now.
All that, so much fragrance.
Yeah. I'm taking the crab and I'm gonna open it up. Take all that gunk out. So I'm just gonna cut off this little face and the gills. In Korea, this yellow part called the mustard is really prized, so they tend to keep that in.
The roll?
That's a tamale. Lungs. And then I can put it in here. And then I'll do the sauce on top. Because this soy sauce marinade is really, really pungent, I only need 1 part soy to 2 parts water. This actual bowl is called a hangari. It's a traditional dish that you marinate things in. And the reason why it's so great is because the clay they use and their technique allows it to breathe. So
beautiful too.
Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna put that in there and then just put it in the fridge overnight.
Awesome.
Oop, popping.
Here they are, ready.
Mmm, that smells great.
It's a good snack.
Look at the color. They look so good. They smell really great too.
Cook it out.
Mmm, they do look good. Ooh, I can't wait to try it. And I have a batch I made yesterday that are done that you can try.
So I can't wait to try them. Use the thermal for this one.
Yeah, you try to. People like the roe.
Oh yeah, look at this.
Yeah. Because this is such a special dish and one of my favorites. I thought it was really important to find a way to adapt it for American palates. So, you know, the steaming works and you get the same flavor and, you know, hopefully people enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it. Raw, that's it. I can't wait to try yours.
For this, you could be plating it for one, put a big platter in the middle of the table, sharing it.
That sounds good to me.
You know. Then the dipping sauce and then just a bit of chives. That's it.
Okay, let's switch plates.
All right.
I know what mine tastes like.
Wow, look at this roll. Gorgeous.
Wow.
Oh, what a flavor. Great texture. A lot of meat. I don't realize that.
Mm-hmm. Careful. Mmm. So good.
It's nice.
Crab cakes are delicious. A lot of crab in there.
How's the sauce?
Oh, sauce is perfect.
Yeah, it works.
I'm happy.
Delicious.
One final note. My life has been quite a ride. Born in Korea, raised in America, and now back in my Moguk, my motherland, for a few more laps. It's amazing for me to come back with my husband, who literally laps up whatever new and interesting foods he can find. But what really blows me away is seeing my Chloe here in Korea. In some strange way, it makes up for the childhood I missed out on in Korea. I know I'm blessed. My life has turned out more wonderful than I ever could have imagined. And for that, I can only humbly say, 감사합니다.